Good morning. My name is Isaiah Wallace. I am currently a junior at Valdosta State University, and today I will be talking about school uniforms and why they are important or why they're good for schools. When people first hear the word school uniforms, it usually has a negative sound and effect to it, but in reality, there are some good positive aspects of it. Over the decades, debaters have been going back and forth and in conflict over the topic. And as a son of an educator, I have heard the pros and cons of school uniforms. But one thing I do know is that every main goal of a school is to perceive an excellent appearance to the outside world. With school uniforms, it creates unity, a sense of togetherness, and order. School is a place where parents send their kids to get a valuable education, but at times there is one thing that causes a distraction, and that's the student's attire. In my speech, my main goal is to convince you guys on why school uniforms are good, about how it breaks down barriers between students, increasing student focus, and is not a financial burden on students' parents. To begin, it breaks down barriers between students. When kids wear uniforms, visible class division and judgment between rich kids and poor kids are decreased and eliminated, and everybody is seen as equal. What I mean by that is sometimes when students wear their own sense of fashion, they're automatically judged and put on the spectrum of a social status. But with everybody wearing the same uniform and looking the same, the only way that you get to know somebody is automatically getting to know them by their personality and on a mental level. You're not automatically judging them by their appearance. It also leads to more social mixing along economic lines and takes away social segregation and stops potential bullying. According to the article Perceptions of School Uniforms, written by Aaron B. Jones, the social group that accepts a student can be marked by clothing and can affect two things: a student's feelings of belonging and causing possible effects on perceptions of academic ability. What I mean by that is that when a student is wearing a certain style of clothes that may not be the best as its peers, sometimes they can automatically be judged, and which can lead to potential bullying, which can cause that student to feel a sense of isolation and eventually cause their grades to drop and their ability to learn drops low. My second point is that it increases student focus. It improves academic achievement, which is the most important thing when it comes to school. Children are also less likely to worry about their appearance and unlikely to discuss their appearance of others. Article Effects on Student Academic Performance, written by third grade teacher Elizabeth Brobeck, states that she saw her class enter and talk to each other about plans after school, the weekend, and fun things, and they did not discuss clothing or the appearance of others. With that being said, it also saves time from trying to figure out what you want to wear for the next day of school and that night, and you can focus on the most important thing, which is making sure you have everything together for school and making sure you study and all that other types of good stuff. And from my experience, I will say that I do care about how I look a lot and my appearance. Even with when I first learned I had to record this speech, the first thing that came to my head was, ooh, what am I going to wear? And not exactly on what I'm going to say in the speech, which is not a good thing. And Elizabeth Brobeck also states that when she was in second grade, she was bullied because of her appearance and had a student ask her if she was a bum. I can also relate to that because when I was in elementary school, I did not have all the nice fashionable clothes and I was bullied. And as I got older, I started caring more about my appearance and what I was going to wear and all other types of good stuff. And my grades, which is the most important thing, kind of went to the back of my head. It also reduces discipline and good behavior. Research assistant professor Jeff Sanchez did a survey with 7th and 8th grade middle schoolers at Sparks Middle School and Rhino and Pine and Vaughn Middle School. Approximately 1,359 student responses. 41% said less gang activity, and there was a connection compared between at Sparks Middle School between the year before and the year of school uniforms being enforced, and 10% of discipline referrals were reduced. Police data shows 63% reduction in police logs and a decrease in gang-related activities, student fights, graffiti, and property damage. Long Beach, California school district data also states that fights and mugging decreased by 50% and sexual offenses were reduced by 74%. The most important thing is that parents are able to save money. A national survey of 517 school leaders found that 94% of those surveyed believe one of the main benefits to parents is that school uniforms are more cost effective than regular apparel. Parents reduce their financial burden by limiting kids to a certain amount of uniforms, and they don't have to worry about paying for the fashionable designer clothes and shoes. They're able to focus more on paying for the more reasonable things for school. It's also less pressure on parents because they don't have to worry about trying to compete with other parents by buying the nice clothes for their kids and worrying about what others will say about their kids. In conclusion, school uniforms solve many problems in the school environment. They allow students to not be judged by their appearance but valued by their personality. It allows students to focus more on the reason they are going to school, which is to get an education, and allows parents to save much more money than what they really do have. And for a memorable quote by Alicia Keys, she says, "The most important thing to remember is that you can always wear the greatest clothes and all the greatest shoes, but you've got to have a good spirit on the inside. That's what's really going to make you look like you're ready to rock the world." And to add on to that, a lot of students will say, "Oh, I'm not able to express myself or be myself and show my individuality." But with school uniforms, it also forces students to actually value their personality and work more on the inside and not care so much about their appearance, which is a good thing for the future and a good thing for the outside world. Thank you.